Well, our Dan Tilkin has been out at the crash scene covering this since it happened this morning. He leads our coverage of this breaking news this afternoon. What can you tell us, Dan?
Well, Jeff and Jennifer, I want to show you the scene. The police are still out here measuring and figuring out how this happened. But according to witnesses, if you look way in the distance down there by Cafe Yum, that is where the SUV had gotten up onto the sidewalk. And that's where he hit the first woman. Then, if just in front of that, about 50 feet, you'll see a bunch of yellow markers on the ground. Those are for evidence. That is where he ran over two other women. Those women are in worse shape. Then he continued, according to witnesses, down the sidewalk here in front of the Starbucks, almost hit a man sitting in front of the Starbucks, and then he got down here and got back into the road and took off that way. Now, I want to show you the map so I can show you where this scene is in relation to the scene where he was arrested. Obviously, we're downtown by PSU. He was around. That happened at 10 o'clock. Then 3 hours later, over by Benson High School in Northeast Portland, somebody spotted the car, thought it was suspicious, and called 911, and that's when police got this suspect. Now, as for the man, let's go back to the man who was in front of the Starbucks and almost got hit, and let's listen to what he had to say.
I turned around and saw the other two girls get hit. I stood up, and I was going to walk towards them and help them. And then the car came closer to me. I thought it was going to cut over, actually. And he just gunned it. He was coming down about 40, 45 miles an hour. And then when he got to the corner, at the light, he bounced over and just kept on going. He followed the lights. He stopped at the lights.
And when he says he stopped at the lights, what he saw was this man driving northbound here, and he stopped at one light, then stopped at the other light, and stopped at the other light until he was out of sight. Quite a sequence of events. Our Cole Miller, he was here shortly after I arrived, and he talked with witnesses too. And let's go over to Cole and see what he has to say.
Well, Dan, before we even got out of the parking garage down there at the KOIN Center, we could hear the screaming of sirens, first responders racing to the campus here. Now, at first, we were right there on the sidewalk where witnesses say the driver of that SUV was barreling down before plowing into those three women. Police quickly pushing us back, and since then, they've expanded this scene. This is a live look from the Broadway side of Montgomery at the Portland State campus, where, as you can imagine, in the initial moments, there was both chaos and confusion. Now, right now, we know those three women are still in the hospital receiving treatment at OHSU, one of them with life-threatening injuries, one with serious injuries, and the family of the third victim asking her condition not be released. Now, one witness I met with when we first got here says those victims appeared to be students, all in their early 20s. The driver of that SUV, as Dan mentioned, then taking off. I bumped into another student who tells me she also saw the whole thing. She says this was no accident, that he was purposefully up on that sidewalk. That's when she called 911 as others jumped in to help those who were hurt.
I heard the impact and saw the young women's bodies fall on the ground. One girl was in and out of consciousness. She was kind of foggy. One girl was very much conscious and very much in pain, trying to sit up, but we had her laying down in case she had any cervical spine injuries.
Now, it is worth noting that dispatch originally was told just one person was hit, and then a flood of calls, forcing them to bump this up to what they call a mass casualty incident. That means a more heightened response. That's usually something where there are more than 3 patients. Now, police also telling us there may have been a fourth person hit, but they did not stick around here at the scene. As for right now, police are asking anyone who may have caught anything on cell phone with their video to turn that over to them. They're also going door to door to some of the nearby businesses here to see if any of their surveillance systems may have caught this on camera. It's worth mentioning there is a camera right there at the Max stop there at 6th and Montgomery. Unclear, though, if that would have been rolling or if any video would be available from that. Now, also, as you head into the evening commute, it's likely that this stretch of Southwest 6 between Harrison down to, I believe, Mill is still shut down, and it could be like that for a few more hours. Dan, we'll toss it back to you.
Right, Cole Miller, we are at 6th and Mill, and this is where the end of the closure exists. So the other big part of this, who is this man that was behind the wheel that mowed down these three people? Now, we have video of him being arrested, as I said, over by Benson High School. So many questions. What was the motive here? Did something go wrong? Our Valina Jones is standing by, and she has what we know as far as the suspect.
Well, Dan, police are still trying to work to figure out some of those answers. We're at the incident where this incident stopped, where they found this suspect. We're at Northeast 16th and Gleason, where the search for that man ended after 2.5 hours of searching for that blue Mazda. Take a look at this video. This is the moment when officers surrounded the suspect's SUV at around 12:30 this afternoon. This all taking place in a residential neighborhood. Police say they found the suspect after a community member spotted his car and called it in. Police say the suspect was sitting in his car when they arrived. They were able to take the man into custody peacefully. Tonight, they are still searching for answers as to why this happened.
There's a lot of moving pieces. We ask people with information, please contact the non-emergency line. We want to talk with people to learn what they observed and what happened today.
Now at this time, we are still working to learn more about this man. Police will not release the name of the person of interest unless he is booked. Now investigators are getting a search warrant for his vehicle. His vehicle is still here on scene. You can't see it from where we are, but those police vehicles are blocking where his vehicle is. They will be searching that vehicle later on. They're also going to be talking to this man and trying to figure out what led to this incident. But for now, again, we are still trying to learn more about this man, who he is, and what his connection is to this area. Police have not yet released that information as well. For now, we'll send it back to you.
Valina Jones at the scene of where the driver suspected in this case was arrested over by Benson High School. So to recap for you, police are out here right now still investigating. They have put markers on the sidewalk where the vehicle went up on the sidewalk and hit those 3 women and then blew past the Starbucks, almost hit another man before taking off. So many questions. You know, police right away pretty quickly said this was intentional. And then the question was this an intentional terrorist act? No, they're saying that's not what it was. Was this intentional because somebody was targeting a specific person or people? We don't know if that is the case. The odds of that being able to happen, the timing of being able to target somebody like that, very, very difficult. So was this intentional that he went up on the sidewalk to hit random people? That may be what happened here. Or the other option is there was some sort of medical issue, some sort of crisis going on. All of those questions, all of those things are in play as police are trying to figure that out. We are trying to figure that out as we all try to piece together what happened here. So you know, we have 1 woman in critical condition, another in serious condition, and the third, they're withholding the information about how she is doing on her family's request. So Jeff and Jennifer, a lot still going on out here and a lot still to answer. We'll toss it back to you.
All right, and Dan, you were one of the first on the scene running up from the KOIN Tower location. It just shows you how quickly life can change in an instant on a quiet Friday morning to have this happen just like that, changing lives.
Thanks, Dan, for your continued coverage, and we will continue to stay on top of any developments in this story and bring them to you, of course, as soon as we have them. You can also go to KOIN.com where there is complete coverage as well as a photo gallery from today's incident.
Now at 4, police shoot and kill a black bear in Gresham, and officers say that bear was in a very populated area and he posed a risk to public safety.
Pretty scary. You don't see that too much. It happened overnight.